once they stopped slandering us, Jews began getting lost among the Goyim. The only fence between us and them is the fence of hatred. In Europe, 100 years ago, in Russia and Poland, how many Jews married Gentiles? Huh? The Gentiles hated Jews? There's no question about it. When in Germany the Enlightenment came, and he stopped persecuting Jews, and it became unfashionable to be an anti-Semite, the Jews began getting lost as fast as they could. And only a short time after the beginning of the period of enlightenment in Germany, almost half the Jews who married in Berlin were marrying Gentiles. So we see that our good fortune was that there was a fence between us and Umazoilo. The fence of animosity that kept us alive to this day. America is a land of a crematorium. The Jewish nation is destroyed in America. We're going lost here every day. Every day Jews are going lost. Millions of Jews are going lost every year. The tragedy of tragedies is intermarriage. What will it help? The poor Reform rabbis come together and they have found a wise scheme to fight against intermarriage, that they recognize all the Christian wives as Jews. Is that trick? The Christian wives don't say they're Jews, but the Reform rabbis call them Jews, so now there's no more intermarriage. And it's going on at pace like nobody's business on all sides. But you have to know, when it says, you will go lost among the nations. You will go lost among the nations. So one of our great sages said, I'm afraid of that puzzle. That's the most terrible puzzle in the Torah, to go lost among the nations. There's no worse fate than intermarriage. It's the greatest ruination of a family. If even one child intermarries, that's for sure. But today, entire families have gone lost. Family names have been obliterated. Take an old telephone book of 20 years ago. And see how many family names no longer are there. They're gone underground. They're gone lost. The worst Gehenna is intermarriage. There was once a Jewish writer who visited with some Sephardi Jews in Yerushalayim. It was Yom Kippur. And he was saying Avinu Malkeinu. And he heard there one Avinu Malkeinu that the Ashkenazim don't have. He never heard it before. Avinu Malkeinu. Please Hashem, see that we don't go lost because of the length of our exile. We shouldn't go lost because of the length of our exile. And it struck him like an arrow in his heart. He was an American, and he knew how true that was. We are going lost. But the exile is continuing too long for us. But why didn't it happen before? We were in exile a long time before. The answer is HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed us with a wall of protection. And that wall was the hostility of the Goyim. It was a blessing in all the generations. No Jews intermarry. Maybe one in a rare event. But the Jewish nation marched on with closed ranks. Fathers and mothers saw saw that their children married into the people and continued the traditions of the greatest happiness. Grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and you forever and ever. I will be your God and for your children after you. And you have to know the biggest force in maintaining the integrity of our people was the hostility of the nations around us. Isn't that a blessing? As soon as the walls of the ghetto came down, the destruction began. The Jewish people began going lost. Now the ghetto is portrayed as a persecution. Oh, pity. They're stuck in the ghetto. Walls around them. They couldn't move. Now you can move out wherever you want. You can move out in some small town of Vermont and go lost. Isn't that a happiness? The greatest success is destruction of oneself. There are euthanasia clubs today that teach people how to commit suicide in a painless way. There are clubs like that. Teach you how to take your life in a painless way. There it is. Mingle with the Gentiles. Move far away from Jewish communities. Settle, let's say, in some rural community, way off, where no Jews around, and there you'll happily commit suicide. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu had pity on our nation, and therefore till this day we're still here because that wall always existed. I want to give you that's a piece of good news. You want to hear a piece of good news? The wall will come back again. The wall will come back again. Don't think it'll be always that good or that bad. Antisemitism is here to stay. You're not finished with it, despite all the liberalism. Even in Russia, which recognizes no religions, today there's a great deal of antisemitism in Russia. Don't think the Russian Jews want to come to America because of their religion. No. There's antisemitism in Russia. It's raised its ugly head again, and it will raise its head in America too. Don't be deceived. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing out Yisrael, the guardian of his people Yisrael. He's guarding us. And we'll be here forever. So that's one understanding of this miracle of antisemitism. It's a miracle. There's no reason for it. We're pretty nice people. Nothing wrong about us. It's all wise. And when there's a tremendous literature, why should they concentrate so much on hitting us? The answer is, it's the very greatest benefit for our future as a nation that will persist among the nations. Now, I'm going to listen to your questions, first from the floor, but make sure you know what you're asking. You mentioned about how yes, should you stop an intermarriage if he knows that if it persuades him to marry Jews, they won't keep Taras HaMishpacha? By all means, all means. Intermarriage is complete destruction. A family without Taras HaMishpacha is a tremendous disaster. But suicide is a bigger disaster. And intermarriage is suicide. I'll tell you something. Today, we find very many kosher, fine B'nai Torah, and kosher Jewish mothers who came from families that did not practice Taras HaMishpacha. Because despite that, they were saved. But had their parents practiced intermarriage, where would the children be? Would be any.
Say someone's sister intermarried, and she had Jewish children. How much effort should be done to find the carve the children?
Every effort.
Yeah.
How much effort to make the children? Every effort. However, it must be done without showing any kind of cordiality to a Gentile father. You have to be very careful there. Otherwise, you're recognizing that kind of an existence. You must make every effort to save those children, if you can.
at a loss as to
So,
how to get along with them.
how to get along with the children?
They don't know how to answer them. They don't know how.
Answer is this. If parents, chas v'shalom, have the misfortune of intermarried children, they should not dispute with them in matters of religion, because this you must be
It's
prepared.
12:45 p.m.
You must know what to answer. And in many cases, these Jews for cheeses, Cheeses, these Jews have been trained in the special schools. It's all lies. If you're trained to answer that, you'll discover it's not so hard to answer that. But if you're not trained, keep away from it. What should be the attitude of parents to such children? Now listen to me, I'll tell you only one attitude. What's the attitude that a person has to have if he has a malignant tumor, chas v'shalom? Should he fondle it? Should he cover it? If you have chas v'shalom, malignant tumor, you have to have it cut out. It must be excised. If chas v'shalom is an intermarried member of a family, he should be cut out of the family. There's no two ways about it. The family should have nothing to do. I had a case once of a girl who told me her mother was living with a Gentile. So I said, she's not your mother. So she gasped, and she accepted that. That's not your mother. You only have one father and one mother. That's our prodigy brother. He's our father. And for him, ready to sacrifice everything, even our lives, will surely sacrifice those friends or relatives that chas v'shalom intermarry. We must give them up and forget about them. We're asking intelligent, who gets more reward? The one who studies Torah